I guess this show is done today. Anyway, if we come back on and then we're done. I can't do this. Um, back on at all. So
I'm trying to I'm trying to get somebody back to help here.
you and Chad may have to work on this thing again.
Yep. Because I just put this back on and we've got nothing.
Highly volatile platform.
Ah, you're on.
Really?
You're up.
I'm up. Well, why don't you explain to everybody what's been happening? Because I can't.
We are having a reconnection issue between the platform and the internet. I have got the help help desk up, and yes, we are up and streaming, Deb. If you want to continue with the show part two,
All righty. Well, I'm going to
and
just finish with a couple stories. I had some other plans of, I was going to go through Ezekiel 38, 39. We'll have to postpone that till next week. And it looks like Brother Larry tried to call me. So you may want to try to call Larry while we're here. But I have a couple stories. I have another one from the 365 News, Israel 365 News says scientists identify immune cells that could slow aging and echoing messianic prophecies. And so, um, and what is this dated? Well, I don't know. It doesn't have a date. It's today. Yeah, it's dated today. It says Ben Gurion University scientists say a newly identified population of immune cells may slow aging by clearing away damaged cells before they can trigger disease. At the same time, the findings have revived long standing Jewish discussions about what human life will look like when Mashiach comes. Modern biology and classical sources are now intersecting in a way that demands attention. Professor Alon Monsenego from Ben Gurion University's Shraga Segel Shraga Siegel, Department of Microbiology, Immunology, and Genetics, said his team has identified cytotoxic T helper cells, which are unusual lymphocytes capable of targeting senescent cells, the aging causing cells that accumulate over time. The immune system deteriorates with time, and that process may dictate the pace of aging, he said. We found these cytotor cells can be very effective in reducing the burden of the senescent cells, allowing tissues to regenerate and recover. His team stumbled onto the significance of these after a Japanese study reported that super centenarians, people living beyond 100, had an abundance of them. The discovery sent Monsenego's lab into full-scale investigation that has now been published in Natural Aging or Nature Aging. The paper was led by Dr. Yiskil Hilyahu, Yazkil Eliyahu, I think is how he says his name, with contributions from Professor Isti Yeger Lotem of Ben Gurion and Professor Valerie Krzyzanowski of the Weizmann Institute. Montesonego explained that clearing the senescent cells may be a key to preserving what researchers call health span. It's not enough to live to 90 with 5 different diseases, he said. We need to think about living healthy, not just living long. And he said these cells accelerate naturally with age, contrary to earlier assumptions that late life biological changes must indicate breakdown. Genetically modified mice that lack the toxic T helper cells live shorter lives, a result Montesonego described as unambiguous. The research suggests that healthy aging may depend upon immune features we have barely begun to measure. Our study suggests that the immune system of healthy older individuals may have properties which we weren't aware of before. He has already begun studying immune profiles in blue zones, regions known for exceptionally long lived populations. Tel Aviv University neuroscientist Professor Asya Rolls, who was not part of the study, said the findings indicate that aging may be more modifiable than assumed. Strengthening with natural immune mechanism could eventually open new ways to slow down age-related decline and keep tissues healthier for longer, she said. Montesonego's goal is to develop diagnostic tools to track these cells and eventually therapeutic strategies that could preserve human health decades earlier in life. The Bible provides a clear foundation for extraordinary lifespans before the flood. And all the days of Methuselah were 969 years, and he died. From Genesis 5:27. Later generations lived far shorter lives, yet the sages described a future in which the world undergoes both political restoration and spiritual refinement. Maimonides, or Rambam, wrote that the Messianic age will unfold within the framework of natural law. He argued that the world will continue as today, with aging and death still present, even though Israel will regain independence and peace. The Messiah will die and be succeeded by his sons. Well, we know that's not true, demonstrating that mortality remains part of the human condition. I don't think so. Other sources present a different picture. Midrashic and Talmudic teachings describe a transformed world in which suffering disappears and the physical world is elevated. These descriptions culminate in the Takiyat Hamatim, the resurrection of the dead. Some commentators interpret these texts as indicating that human frailty, including aging, will be radically altered. Well, we know this, don't we? We have a who has purchased this for us, right? Rabbi Yosef Berger, King David's tomb on Mount Zion or Mount Zion, addressed the theological tension around scientific attempts to influence longevity. If the intention is to prolong or save lives, it is indeed a blessed endeavor. But if it is an attempt to usurp the place of God, to remove death from the world, that is like the generation that built the Tower of Babel. And it says here, to take the place of God in heaven. Life and death are from God, and the resurrection of the dead is an essential part of the Messiah. People who want to eradicate death actually want to erase the resurrection of the dead. And it says here, Yuval Ovadia, whose film on Nibiru have a large following, believes in the post-Messianic era, people will return to lifespans described before Noah. He attributes cosmic changes triggered by the of a massive star and its accompanying system. The Midrash states that God initiated the flood in the time of Noah by moving two stars, he said. This caused a shift in the poles of the world. The north became the south, dry land became oceans, and oceans dried up. Nibiru will shift the magnetic poles back to their pre Noah state. As a result, people will live much longer for hundreds of years, as is described in the Bible before Noah. The scientific breakthrough at Ben Gurion University does not claim to offer immortality. It does, however, reveal that the body contains mechanisms capable of slowing the very processes that make aging destructive. Whether this discovery aligns with Rambam's natural messianic vision or the more supernatural teachings, depending on emphasizes, or if you follow Yeshua, right? Um, we know exactly what happens. It says so in our Bible. It predicts it, right? That the Messiah will return, and we know who he is. And when he returns, of course, he's going to fix some things. Now we've got 1,000 years in there. That's what I was going to talk about, and we'll do it next week. I promise. We'll get to it eventually here on Ezekiel 38 and 39, the split in the 1,000 years and the wars that happen in both of those. But eventually, of course, there's going to be a new heaven and a new earth. But I think Rambam missed it on that one. The other rabbis seem to get a little closer, but we know that we have a Messiah who is eternal and who is going to give us and return us back to the state of Adam and Eve. Of course, Adam and Eve, when they were created to live for eternity. And we know that the decaying of the body, the slowing down, the aging of the body is all part of the curse, right? So anyway, I am down to my archaeological story.
Okay.
So, and this one from the Jerusalem Post, dated today, is the Hanukkah miracle. Israel discovers evidence of Judah Maccabees battlefield near Jerusalem. The site is widely identified with the ancient village of Bet Zachariah, where the Seleucid army and the forces of Judah Maccabee clashed in what is Maccabean battle. And then they have a picture of a bronze coin from the Asia Minor city of Side, found in Horbet Bet Zachariah, south of Jerusalem, where the Maccabees fought the Greek Seleucid army. So they've got this very old coin you can see there that they have found. And that's, of course, how they do a lot of dating in Israel. Then they find these things. New archaeological finds in the hills south of Jerusalem may offer the first material evidence from one of the Judah Maccabees battles. The press servants of Israel has learned as the Hanukkah holiday approaches, the 8-day holiday of Hanukkah, which begins on Sunday night, marks the successful Hasmonean revolt against the Seleucid king Antiochus IV and the subsequent rededication of the Second Temple some 2,100 years ago. In an exclusive interview with the TPSIL, I'm probably TPS Israel, Dr. Devir Raviv of Bar Ilan University said that a survey at Horbat Bet Zechariah in the Gush Etzion region south of Jerusalem has uncovered objects that match both the date and the military profile of the famous battle described in the Book of Maccabees in 163 BC. The site on a hill about 7 kilometers southwest of Bethlehem, right, is widely identified with the ancient village of Beit Zechariah, where the Seleucid army and the forces of Judah Maccabee clashed in what is known as the Fifth Maccabean Battle. According to First Maccabees and later Jewish historian Josephus, the Seleucid army advanced north along the Jerusalem-Hebron road with war elephants. Elephants. The most dramatic scene, Judah's brother Eleazar ran under the largest elephant, killed it, and was crushed to death beneath its body. Yeah, that would do it.
Mhm.
The battle ended in a Seleucid victory and the siege of a temple in Jerusalem. Raviv's 2022 survey at the site documented 92 coins and hundreds of pottery shards from the Persian, Hellenistic, and Hasmonean periods. However, what drew his attention were four pointed directly to a Hellenistic battlefield, three cast lead sling bullets, and a bronze coin minted in the city of Sade, southern Turkey. This is the first time we may be holding objects that came from one of Judah Maccabee's battlefields, Raviv told TPS Israel. At Beit Zechariah, we found a coin that is usually linked with the Seleucid mercenaries and three lead sling bullets that only appear in military contexts. Together, they fit together very well with the description of the battle in the First Maccabees, or in First Maccabees. The sling bullets discovered on the western slope of the hill are typical Hellenistic ammunition. One carries the winged thunderbolt, a common symbol on such projectiles. Across Israel, similar bullets have been found at only 50 sites, almost all known from historical sources as siege works, forts, or battlefields, including Jerusalem, Dor, Samaria, Mareshah, Yodvat, and Mount Gerizim. You do not expect to find Seleucid military equipment in a small rural village unless an army actually. Raviv explained. He noted that the bullets were found in a cluster on the slope facing the ancient Jerusalem Hebron Road, exactly where the Seleucid army is said to have advanced. The finds sit where the sources placed the battle, along the old road below the village, and they give us for the first time an archaeological echo of the confrontation described in the texts. And I had a picture of these little bullets here. I don't know if you can see them. They just look like little stones. I'm not sure how they used them. They're calling them little bullets. The bronze coin from side strength base on one side shows a Greek goddess Athena wearing a Corinthian helmet, and the other features a pomegranate, which was the symbol of Side. Side served as a recruitment center for the mercenaries who fought in Seleucid armies. Although around 120 such coins have been found around Israel, this is the first time that a side coin has emerged from a location explicitly connected to a documented battlefield, Raviv explained. Its presence alongside the sling, a military activity that fits the historical description of the battle, he told TPS Israel. Most critical scholars already accept that a battle took place in the Beit Zachariah area, even if they debate the literary shaping of the story. Raviv stressed that the new finds do not settle questions about exact location, numbers, or tactics. Their importance, he says, lies in offering the first independent support for the historicity itself. For Raviv, the implications go beyond technical analysis. It is the first time we have possible archaeological evidence from one of Judah Maccabee's battlefields, he said. This text and ground finally begin to meet. So just in time. And there you have evidence. So, and that's what they keep finding every day in Israel, right?
Lots of
So,
evidence.
lots of
More
evidence.
evidence out there that not only is the Bible true, but Jesus is Lord.
Yes, amen. And that's the responsibility we have. Get up every day and figure out how we can pass the message along. You need to make Yeshua the Lord of your life, and things will go much, much better for you.
Amen.
Hanukkah comes up this Sunday, so we will be up at the Tower Square. We will do our best. I'll try to get something. See if my phone works and if we can do some sort of recording of that to put on Facebook. But that's about all I know we can do because we don't have any other equipment that we can haul around to do that. So,
Well, I've got a personal account with Rumble. So
ah,
I was thinking maybe I could put it on Rumble.
well, maybe you can. Maybe you can do that. So we'll see. We'll experiment.
Yeah.
So, but we are going to be lighting the first candle on the Tower Square of our menorah. It is not up yet. I understand that it's going to be put up Saturday morning. Pray for everyone because it's going to be very cold. And you know how it is when things in the very, very cold weather, they get more brittle and are dangerous.
Well, it's going to be in the 30s during the day, but the temperatures are going to drop as the day goes along. So
Yes.
we do want to get this done, at least before 1 o'clock
Yeah.
in the afternoon.
So
So
that's what we're going to. So pray everything goes smoothly and no hitches, that we can get it put up, and you know, and then we will be there Sunday night, and then Wednesday, the following Wednesday, December the 17th, we will actually have a Hanukkah party here. So you'll see some of that. We're not doing it on the first night this time. We're going to do it on the time that usually Rabbi Vern teaches Hebrew class. So he's going to be doing some mentioned that last night. And so I'm just re-mentioning that. And tomorrow night is Shabbat. And so we'll be having probably a message from Brother Larry. Um, After next week, we will have the show again next week, but the following week will be Christmas. So we will not be here on Christmas. And we won't be having Hebrew class that week. We won't have the show, and we won't have Shabbat either. Now we will be returning to the show after that. We're going to try to do something January 1st. So we will be here New Year's Day. We're not going to take a holiday then. And I'm assuming we're going to have Shabbat that week as well. But Rabbi Vern did not say anything about New Year's Eve and what he plans to do, because New Year's Eve is another Hebrew class, another Wednesday. So,
that's what he plans on.
yep, maybe.
We won't know what else he might be doing.
No, we don't. We don't know.
I'm
So,
kidding.
but he was willing to be here Christmas Eve, I think. But we too many plans going on, too many things going on. So, we're not going to be doing that. But so just letting you know what is coming up. So next week we'll be here. The week after that will be Christmas. Can you believe that? And then we will be finished with 2025. It will all be gone. And we'll be heading on into the next year, 2026. Amazing.
Well, time
Oh,
flies when the world's going to Hades.
right. Yep.
So,
Yep. So if my mom had lived, she would have been 90 in 2026. So yeah, it's amazing to think where I am in time. Just
hmm
I'm like wow, how did we get here this fast? Oh well.
yep.
So anyway, but like I said, join us tomorrow at 7 p.m. for Shabbat, and then next Wednesday we will be having our Hanukkah party, and then next Thursday we will do our best to be here and hopefully not fail us then.
We'll try to do better.
We'll try to do better. So until we meet again, same time,